Now, Labor rammed that social media ban for kids through the Senate before Christmas because, well, they didn't really have much else to speak of in terms of achievements this year. But there's a poll today by Resolve Political Monitor that shows most Australians support the idea of banning under 16s from social media. That's not really surprising. But most don't think it'll work, and they don't want to hand over their IDs to make it work. Let's bring in my panel for tonight. Victorian Libertarian Party MP David Limbrick and the PR Council Managing Director Christy McSweeney. Now, the numbers here are quite interesting. 58% support a ban, but 68% don't think it'll be effective. 45% are reluctant to hand over ID. And rather surprisingly, parents are more likely to support a ban than those without kids. That's not the surprising bit. But they're also more likely to think that it'll be ineffective, and they're more reluctant to submit ID than those without kids. So, David, we have here a policy that broadly people like me say is noble, the idea is good, but no one seems to think it's actually going to work.
Australians have a good nose for what goes wrong with government IT projects, I think. They nearly always fail. I remember there was an app a few years ago called the COVID Safe app, and I remember lots of members of parliament showing people installing it on their phones and spent millions of dollars on it. And it did nothing. It never worked. It was a failure. In fact, one of my boys, he uses YouTube like many kids. He actually produces his own content. And I told him about this, and his first response was, does this mean we'll need to get a VPN, Dad? And I said, yes, it does. Kids already know how to bypass this, and it's clearly people know that it won't work. It's a failure from the beginning.